Hey there, gearheads! If you love 50s, 60s, and 70s American classics, our YouTube channel is made just for you. From muscle cars to vintage pickups, we bring you history, restorations, and pure nostalgia. Hit subscribe and support us. Let's keep the golden era of cars alive. Join the ride now. Cars Sparkle.
Number 4. Extreme styling. The massive 18-inch rear wing and extended nose cone weren't everyone's taste. Some found it ugly or over the top. Too radical for the street. While street legal, the Daytona was really built for NASCAR, making it a bit impractical for everyday driving. Expensive and niche. With limited production, just 503 units made, it was costly to make and had a small buyer base at the time. Poor visibility. The huge rear window and wing didn't help with rearward visibility. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was a pure race-bred machine, engineered specifically to dominate NASCAR. And it succeeded wildly. Aerodynamic masterpiece. Dodge added a pointed nose cone, a huge rear wing, and flushback window, all designed to reduce drag and increase downforce. It was the first NASCAR car to break 200 miles per hour on a closed course, a massive achievement at the time, nicknamed the Winged Warrior for its signature rear spoiler. You had two options under the hood: 426 Hemi Vive 8-7.0 litre, producing 425 horsepower, a beast built for speed. 440 Magnum Vives, 8-7.2 litres, with 375 horsepower, slightly more common, and still brutally fast. 0 to 60 miles per hour, approximately 5.5 seconds, with the Hemi. Top speed, 200 plus miles per hour in NASCAR trim, built to beat Ford and Chevy on the NASCAR circuit. It did exactly that, dominating the 1969 and 1970 seasons. Eventually, NASCAR banned such extreme aero designs, leading to the Daytona's legendary status as a one-time phenomenon. Base platform: 1969 Dodge Charger modifications. Fiberglass aero nose cone, 18 inches longer than stock, 23-inch aluminum rear wing, flush-mounted rear window, hood pins, scoops, and raced mirrors. Only 503 Daytonas were produced to meet NASCAR homologation rules. This included 70 with the 426 Hemi, the rest with the 440 Magnum today. Even well-used Daytonas sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and pristine Hemi versions can reach into the millions at auction. While overshadowed slightly by the General Lee Standard Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard, the Daytona is far more rare and performance-focused. In car enthusiast circles, it's often seen as the ultimate Mopar muscle car. It inspired modern-day Dodge Chargers, including special editions and performance trims like the Daytona RT. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona wasn't just another muscle car. It was a purpose-built weapon created to dominate NASCAR and push the limits of speed and design. Its outrageous looks, raw power, and racing success make it one of the most iconic American cars ever built. Want a short script or a YouTube thumbnail idea for the Daytona? I've got you covered. Just say the word. Number 3. Rust problems. Like many cars of its time, the Bel Air was prone to rust, especially in the floor pans and rocker panels. Not performance-oriented at first. Early models, especially in '55, were more about style than the speed, though that changed later. No safety tech, no seatbelts, no crumple zones, and drum brakes all around. Safety was barely a thought in the 1950s. Handling was basic. body roll and floaty suspension made aggressive driving a bit sketchy. The Tri-5 Chevys 1955, 1956, and 1957 are beloved by collectors and gearheads alike. Each year had subtle design tweaks, but carried the same bold spirit. A complete redesign over earlier Chevys, the 55 Bel Air introduced clean lines, chrome galore, and tail fins starting to emerge. It offered the new 265 cubic inch 4.3-litre V8, Chevy's first small block, a game-changer in American car history. This was the start of Chevy's performance era. The base inline-6 remained available, but the V8 made headlines. The 56 had a more refined look. The grille was widened, and chrome trim was enhanced. More colours, two-tone paint combos, and convenience features were added. Engine choices improved. The 265 V8 was now available with up to 225 horsepower, with the optional Power Pack and 4-barrel carb. The 57 Bel Air became a cultural icon. Bigger 283 cubic inches, 4.6 litres, V8 engine, and first US production car to offer fuel injection. Fuel-y models with the ramjet injection system could push 283 horsepower, achieving the mythical 1 horsepower per cubic inch, huge at the time. Design featured dramatic tail fins, gold anodized trim, and an upscale interior. Bel Airs were fashion statements, not just cars. With flashy two-tone paint, wraparound windshields, and jet-age flair. Convertibles and hardtops were especially popular. Chevy marketed them as affordable luxury. They were stylish without the Cadillac price tag. Powerglide automatic transmission was a common choice, along with 3-speed manuals. Optional upgrades included power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, rare but available, Wonderbar radios and deluxe trim packages. While not built as race cars, the V8-powered Bel Airs, especially from 56 and 57, became hot rods and drag strip legends thanks to their lightweight frames and tunable engines. 1957 Bel Air two-door hardtops and convertibles are some of the most desirable American classics ever. Depending on condition and originality, values can range from $30,000 to over $150,000. Restoration culture is massive. Parts are widely available, and the Tri-5 Chevy scene is thriving. The Bel Air is featured in countless movies and music videos, symbolizing 1950s America, rock and roll, and the open road. It's as recognizable as a jukebox or leather jacket when it comes to 50s nostalgia. The 1955 to 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air wasn't just a car. It was an icon of optimism, the birth of Chevy performance, and a rolling piece of art. With bold design, accessible performance, and massive cultural impact, it remains one of the most celebrated American classics of all time. Need a YouTube script, short summary, or a thumbnail design idea for the Bel Air? Just let me know. Number 2. Unsafe at Any Speed. Ralph Nader's 1965 book famously attacked the Corvair's early suspension design, claiming it was dangerous. This hurt the car's reputation and sales. Rear engine handling quirks, with the engine in the back and swing axle suspension, 1960 to 63 models. It had a tendency to oversteer, especially if tires weren't properly inflated. Lack of power. Initially, early engines weren't particularly fast compared to Detroit's growing muscle cars. Maintenance needed attention, The air-cooled engine was different from other cars, which could make servicing more complicated for average mechanics. The Corvair was America's only mass-produced, air-cooled, rear-engine car. Designed to compete with imports like the VW Beetle, it was a radical departure from Chevy's usual lineup. Engine. All Corvairs used an air-cooled flat-six engine. Think Porsche layout. Mounted in the rear. No radiator. No coolant. Very un-American at the time. 1960 base engine. 2.3 litres. 140 cubic inches. Approximately 80 horsepower. By 1964. Upgraded to 2.7 litres, 164 cubic inches, with up to 110 horsepower 3-speed manual. Standard. 4-speed manual, optional. 2-speed Powerglide automatic, optional. 1960, the launch year. Offered only as a sedan or coupe. Minimalist design, simple dashboard, and economy-focused. Unique swing axle, rear suspension, later criticized for safety concerns. 1961, introduction of the Lakewood wagon and the sporty Monza coupe. Monza brought bucket seats and more upscale trim, a hit with young buyers. Chevrolet realized people wanted a sporty Corvair, not just a basic commuter. 1962, enter the Spider, a turbocharged Corvair. One of the first US turbocharged production cars. 150 horsepower from a 2.7-litre engine with a turbo. Quite the performance upgrade. 1963, cosmetic updates, improved build quality. Still using the swing axle suspension. 1964, big improvements. Rear suspension got a transverse leaf spring to reduce dangerous handling quirks. Engine enlarged to 2.7 litres and Spider turbo was refined. Coupe sedan convertible wagon, briefly. Greenbrier van, ramp side pickup, and other commercial versions were also built on the Corvair platform. Incredibly versatile. Innovative. First US car with unit body construction. Air-cooled engine-rear engine layout. Affordable sportiness. The Monza and Spider brought European-style fun to American buyers at lower prices. Turbocharging. The Spider helped introduce the concept of factory turbos in the US market. Looks. Clean, understated design with a European flair. No giant fins, just sleek lines. Safety criticism hit hard. The Nader book, lawsuits, and media attention caused public trust to plummet. GM made major updates in 1965, new body and suspension. But the damage was done. Sales dropped, and the Corvair was discontinued by 1969. Early models are cheap and accessible for classic car fans. Turbocharged Spiders and convertibles are the most collectible. Parts are available thanks to strong enthusiast support and clubs. While never a muscle car or pop icon, the Corvair still appears in period films and car shows as a symbol of 1960s innovation gone wrong, or right, depending on your view. The Chevrolet Corvair, 1960 to 1964, was ahead of its time, bold in engineering, and unique in every way. Though controversy dented its legacy, it stands today as a fascinating chapter in American car history, remembered for its daring design and misunderstood potential. Let me know if you want this styled for YouTube narration, or if you'd like a comparison with other cars like the VW Beetle or Ford Falcon. Number 1. Design criticism. The Gremlin was often ridiculed for its chopped-off rear. It looked like someone took a regular car and sawed off the trunk. It wasn't exactly sleek or graceful. Build quality. AMC was struggling financially, and quality control could be hit or miss. Rattles, rust, and cheap interiors weren't uncommon. Performance inconsistencies. Early four-cylinder versions were sluggish. Later, V8s improved speed but killed the economy. Fuel economy, not always great. Despite being a compact, some models with larger engines had disappointing MPG. When it launched on April 1st, 1970, yes, April Fool's Day, the AMC Gremlin became America's first modern subcompact car, beating the Ford Pinto and Chevy Vega to market. AMC literally sliced off the back of their Hornet model to make a smaller, cheaper vehicle. Quick and cost-effective during a time when small cars were becoming trendy. Base engine, 1970. 199 cubic inches, 3.3 litres. Inline. 6 optional engines, 232 cubic inches, 3.8 litres. Inline, 6 258 cubic inches, 4.2 litres. Inline 6 304 cubic inches, 5.0 litres. Viz 8 1972 to 1976 for serious power transmissions. 3-speed manual standard. 3-speed automatic 4-speed manual in performance models. 1970 debut year. Sold for just under $2,000. Inline. 6 engine only. Basic interior. No frills, just pure affordable transportation. 1971 to 1972. Optional V8 engine added, 304 cubic inches for performance. Gremlin X introduced, the sportier trim with stripes, rally wheels and flashier colours. 1973 to 1974. Minor styling updates and new bumpers to meet safety regulations. Interior quality improved slightly. Gremlin GT package offered performance-focused upgrades. 1975 to 1976, catalytic converters added. AMC focused on improving quality to compete with imports. More comfortable interiors and better fuel economy tweaks. 1977 to 1978 facelift with square headlights and a redesigned grille. Final production year was 1978, after which it was replaced by the AMC Spirit. While early models were more about economy, V8-powered Gremlins were surprisingly quick. The car only weighed about 2,700 pounds. So stuffing a 304 V8 into it made it kind of a mini muscle car. 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 8 seconds with the V8. Not bad for a tiny car in the 70s. The Gremlin X and GT trims added suspension upgrades and sportier looks. The Gremlin came in some wild colours with bold decals. Interior options included Levi's denim seats, yes, real denim, which was a huge hit. Increasing competition from Japanese imports, Toyota, Datsun, that were better built and more fuel efficient. The design didn't age well. What was quirky and cute in 1970 felt outdated by 1978. AMC's overall financial struggles led to cut corners and reduced innovation. Survivors are rare, especially V8 models or original Gremlin X's, still relatively cheap compared to muscle cars. Cult following among AMC fans and retro car collectors. Some Gremlins were sold through Montgomery Ward, a department store. AMC promoted the Gremlin with taglines like, "A car that speaks for itself and says something different." It appeared in movies and cartoons as a symbol of goofy, lovable weirdness. The AMC Gremlin was bold, weird, and way ahead of its time in some ways. While it wasn't perfect, it brought American subcompacts to the masses and earned a loyal following with its underdog spirit. It's a perfect example of how doing something different, even if it's odd, can leave a lasting legacy. Let me know if you want this narrated for video, or turned into a short script.